Hey, Brad, Merry Christmas. Brian, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing
Hey,
good.
Merry Christmas.
Doing
Happy
good.
holidays.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, we should all have eggnog in our hands, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I've got some out in the garage. I don't have it in the house.
I got
Oh,
some
yeah, there
coffee.
you go, Brian.
That's just coffee.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
I'm
should.
kind of hoping. I was kind of hoping to make me some coffee earlier, but I forgot all about that as well. I'm trying to prepare to come on here.
Yeah, well, hey, thanks everybody for stopping by. We got Hot Rod, and we got Dennis, we got Lee, we got Mark. Yeah, thanks again for dropping by this evening. We just want to discuss some of the new stuff that's going on with, DJI. What are they cooking up, man? What do you think they're cooking up on the FPV market? That's one of going to be some of the topics, and of course, the next topic is going to be about Brian's e-bike stuff. I know that we all like watching his e-bike videos and honest stuff. He lets you know how it is. You know, if something's shit, he'll say it's shit.
That's right. If it's crap, it's crap. That's what I'm saying.
Right? All right. So, what has been going on
Yeah,
with you, Brad? I know you have had COVID. Tell us about that
Oh,
experience.
yeah.
And
Tell us about that.
yeah, that was kind of interesting. After almost 4 years of the pandemic stuff being around, I thought for sure I was not going to ever get it because I've been fighting, fought it off pretty well. Got 4 shots up to this point. Trying to do my due diligence there. I know there's some people that don't think the shot's the thing to do, but I just did that and got flu shots. But for some reason or another, last about 2 weeks ago, I around a bunch of people for work and social event and stuff like that, and I must have picked it up and was ill within about 3 or 4 days of being around all those folks. And my wife came back from Arizona, and she ended up getting it from me as well, and she's never had it. So we've both been isolated here at the house for the last 10 days. 5 days is what they say isolation is, but we've been in here for five more days. And then I stepped out once or twice to the store with mask and staying away from people. So trying to do my due diligence there. But I'm feeling better. She's feeling better. We both got like major head cold type symptoms, drainage, sore throat, and headaches a little bit. But COVID, it's going to be in my system probably for the next couple of months. Every test I take, it says positive, but they're telling me at the doctor's office that I'll show positive up to 90 days, and I'm not a threat to anybody. So
Right.
anyway, I'm still working from home. I was going to go in the office today, tomorrow, and the next day, and then start my long, Christmas weekend. But I've decided to stay home and not risk anybody else catching. If I have still some, I don't want to give it to anybody. That'd be the worst thing for me. I don't want to give it to anybody. So anyway, enough said about that. I'm feeling better. Thanks for everybody that's reached out. Number of people have reached out to me. Johnny tried to call me a little while ago. He was checking on me, and thank you for that. And just thank you everybody for all the well wishes and getting better, getting better. Not 100%. I'd say I'm about 75% right now, but feeling a lot better.
so, guys,
Yay.
apologies for the echo. It's me that's echoing, so I'm going to try to be quiet as much as possible. I just wanted to say yes, we're here, Berkeley. Merry Christmas, lurkers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. So I'll go ahead and be quiet. Brian, tell us a little bit what you've been doing, man. What's been going on?
I retired. Nothing's happening. Nothing is
uh,
happening.
Yeah, but yeah, I know you, man. You're not going to retire. You're going to
I
be
am
doing
working. I
stuff.
am
I know
working
you.
now. I'm working now 3 days a week. Yes. 3 days
So,
a week.
so
Yeah.
I kind of figured that, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm working 3 days a week, and I'm just kind of slowing down the YouTube thing, and I'm just getting
Tired. No.
tired. I mean, I've been doing it pretty hot and heavy for
I
since
know the feeling, brother.
2017. You know,
Yeah,
since 2017, I've been doing it pretty hot and heavy. So,
agreed.
So I'm kind of getting over it. I mean, believe me, I have so many videos, hundreds upon hundreds of videos that I've never even released yet. So I could literally just stop doing it and still have videos for years, and nobody would ever even know.
The
You know,
question is
they
how
would.
relevant would they be, right?
Well, I mean, if you're just out shooting, drone videos, doing landscapes, nobody knows. As long as you release them in the time of the year that they were shot, nobody's not going to know. They're not going to know. You
Just
don't
That's
get
a
on
good
there and
point.
go. I mean, you don't get on there and go. I mean, I have a pile of videos, DJI, over the rivers and the dams and all that from 2020. I mean, I don't go on the video and say, "Hey, it's August 20th, 2020." You don't say that. So
Yeah.
you just can release them. I think I have one with the GoPro Karma, which I don't even have anymore. I still have two of that one on the Ohio River. I never put out, but I did mention it was the 4th of July weekend. So maybe this 4th of July, I'll put it out there 4 years after I made it. I don't have to say, I said it's the 4th of July
that would
weekend.
be
I didn't,
funny because
I
I
didn't
do
say
have,
what year it was.
yeah, I do have a bunch of videos, of when you were able to fly drone while the fireworks were going on,
Yeah, right.
and and I bet you could put them on YouTube and they go, oh, you're breaking law, but it was shot back in
Right.
2014.
The only videos that I have that are probably current would be the ones with the bikes and those would be kind of current. I have like a year's worth of those backed up too. But I'm into the motorcycle thing now too because I went and got them two motorcycles, so I'm doing
Oh
that.
yeah, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Which motorcycles did you get,
I
Brian?
got a Honda Navi. You ever heard of that? And I
Hmm.
got a Suzuki Bergman, which is kind of like a big luxury scooter. You know, it's real nice. I
Was
love
it
it.
have a 650 in it?
It's got a 400.
Oh,
400. Wow.
It'll go 100 miles an hour. It's
Wow.
real nice. It's
Yeah,
got the big
you
windshield
definitely
and
have moved up the game. Yeah, you've moved up a lot from those e-bikes.
yeah. Well, I'm still doing the e-bikes. As a matter of fact, I just got a scooter in about a month ago, a real high end one.
yeah, break your neck scooter.
Yeah, it's one of them 40. I got it up to 38 last week. I was doing 38 miles an hour on it. So
Yeah. Hey, I'm
Wow,
going to
that's
take this
fast.
time to welcome a couple more people in there. And Danny, I'll be drone has showed up. Quadcopters and Tech is here. And Maddie, hey, buddy, what's
Yeah,
going
hey
on?
Maddie, I don't. You might have
Johnny's
said it
also
earlier.
just
Dennis,
dropping in. All right,
Dennis is
man.
in there.
And
oh,
Barkley,
Dennis has
there
been
he
here
is.
from the
Al
minute we got
crash
on.
a kaboom. Whoa. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that was I did crash it like a pro, Barkley, no doubt about it, man. That
Crashed
was
it
a fun weekend
pretty
though.
good or pretty bad.
I definitely took my knocks that weekend. I know you did too, Barkley. I mean, you lost. Oh, you dinged up quite a few drones too. So, um, all right. So let's talk a little bit of
Well,
what you guys think DJI is cooking up in the FPV market. I know they should have a release something in a 5 inch, maybe even a 7 inch. I'm hoping it's a 7 inch and is a really good like long range flyer, because their telemetry system now and their video systems are going out so far. So it would make sense to have like maybe a 7 inch, 7 inch flyer out there. 7 inch instead of a 5 inch
yeah,
potato, do a 7 incher. Just freaking cruise like a freaking airplane. Just haul ass.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I don't think they would do that, but DJI has surprised us a number of times on some of these things they've dropped like that, especially when the potato came out. That
Okay.
was the first one, and then the Avata was another one. I feel like, and so I've heard some conversations with some of the other live shows and the chats, some of the videos I've watched outside of the live shows, and I feel like DJI is going to be coming out with a smaller version of the Avata. Maybe a sub 250, and I feel like that's what some other folks believe as well. think Maddie was talking about that at one point. Um, there's a lot of speculation on a new Avata, right?
Yeah,
I would agree. That would definitely give him a larger market to go after, right? The price point would drop, and it would definitely
Yep.
just be able to, be able to just sell so many of the lower end units. Man, I'm just
Well, the
wishing they'd
Avata's
have a
been such
long
a
range flyer, because again, once again, the VTX system they have is unrivaled, right? And not only that, the flight controller is just it's solid. And then on top of that, guess what? You have I'm stupid button and save my ass button and return home.
right, right.
I'm upside down. I don't know what to do. I'm panicking. Hit the stupid button and come home.
yeah.
Yeah. Now I
Because
don't.
Well, it's a
I'm not
continu
real big into this FPV. I've never done it, but I noticed this Ivana. Some of the stuff I've seen from that is very impressive. You
oh my
know,
gosh, yes.
some of the
The Avata's got some great capabilities. I think it depends on which way you want to fly it. I mean, there's people like Mark Fisher uses it professionally in his business. I think he's done a great job. He's a great example of it. There's some other people. I think Eddie Nunez up north as well. And I mean that drone's fully capable of doing cinematic type work. You just got to
right.
dial
I've
it in
seen
and
some really nice.
get your flow.
I've seen some really impressive stuff with that thing. I mean, I don't know if it's
Hmm.
all image EIS or does it have like some kind of gimbal or is it just all EIS? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the gimbal's not. The gimbal's only two. It's only up and down, right? So it's only you're
One
not
X.
going to get the
Yeah,
yeah.
it's only a
Yeah.
one axis on the pitch side. It
Yeah,
just
one
pitches the
axis is
camera
it.
down up and down. But it's still kind of nice, Brian, because
Mhm.
you know what? You could just be cruising right along and still want to look down. And if you know how you're flying, you can actually tell. Because you won't be able to see what's coming ahead of you, but what's below you. You know what I mean? And since
Right.
it's not the GPS drone, it's kind of a scary thing.
Now, let me ask you this, Brad, because I never got into the FPV because I get motion sickness. That's why I can't do it. Okay,
I get
but
motion sickness too, but go ahead.
now isn't it a fact that if you use this FPV stuff and you have the goggles on, you're supposed to have somebody there with you? Isn't that some
I
kind
mean,
of
per
rule?
I mean, I think with FAA rules, the way it is, you're supposed to have you, the pilot in command, is supposed to have full visual sight of your drone, not in goggles, not on the phone, not on a screen. You're supposed to have full sight of your drone while you're pilot in command, unless you have a spotter with you.
And the spotter has to have full sight.
That's right. Yep.
Right. Now,
I
from
would
what I
just
noticed, that Ivana has a tremendous range on it. I've seen some people really fly way far away from the controller.
I think when you're using the motion controller, you're limited because that's all I've really ever used. I've used the remote control once, but
Yeah,
that is very limited in range. I've seen around here, I can only go about a half a mile to three quarters of a mile, and I start getting breakup,
right.
signal
okay.
loss, and everything in the goggles.
Yeah,
So I think
agreed.
Okay.
with
All
the
right.
RC though, you should be able to go a lot further, right? Especially if you're using your phone and connected that way.
Well,
Okay.
talking about that, let's talk about that. And I know I've had some conversations with one of my buddies. He's actually a real pilot too, but he's also an FPV pilot. And I was discussing it with him. And I said, "All right, how's the FAA going to enforce all this stuff?" And
They're
he goes,
not.
"They're not. They can't." So I
Right.
think
No,
basically,
yeah, they
I
don't have
think
the
this whole
manpower
thing's
for it.
just going to fall on his face, because nobody's going to be buying $300 modules to put on their $300 little five
Right.
inch quad that they
They're just not
made,
gonna do
right?
it.
So it's unenforceable in FPV. Build your own market for sure. I'm not
Right.
sure if they're going to require like the iFlight Evokes, those big sellers. The most popular, most which are sounds like something that the U.S. government would go after you know, what they think is a market leader that's cheating or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I can't wait till spring because I want to dig out the few big drones that I have left, because I mostly got rid of all my over 250 stuff. Okay, but I'm not getting rid of my Inspire or my Phantom 4. I'm not getting rid of those, and I want to take them out in the spring and see if anything happens when I take them off, to see if anything pops up on the screens, because there have been no updates on them. I check periodically for updates, and there's been nothing happening on those birds. So I think those might be just like legacy pushed in. I don't think they're gonna. Yeah, maybe by FAA rules you have to go buy this module and all that, but I don't think DJI has injected anything into the software of those models to ground them or force you to get. I think actually DJI has a list of what they have put. You know how they put that software on there. I forgot the actual name of this. Remote ID.
Remote ID, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they actually have put that software on there in some of their newer model drones, but I don't think in their old drones they're doing that too, in their legacy stuff.
But so Barkley just mentioned, I see there you got it highlighted, Al, the LEAP program, and I just pulled
Yeah, let's
that up
talk
on
about
FAA's
that.
website. That
You want
is a law enforcement assistance program.
you
I've
want to
heard
go
of this
ahead and share
before.
that for us? And
I'll share it. I don't know a whole lot about it, but okay.
well,
Let's see
we
if
can
I
talk about it and learn together. Wish Berkeley was here to be talking. You want to jump in here, Berkeley? Let me know. Add you to the
Yep.
chat.
So this is the FAA's website that shows the LEAP program. Again, this is kind of new to me. I don't know a whole lot about it. I would think this, because they're not going to have the manpower at FAA to, manage remote ID and everything. They're going to leave it up to other agencies like this LEAP program, maybe, that will bring in other agencies to help enforce that. I don't know if it's supposed to be just the general public working with this LEAP program. I'd have to read more about this, but I'm kind of caught off guard here. I don't have a lot of information.
Yeah, me too, and that's why I wanted to just kind of start this conversation because I think it's important because there's a lot of us out there like this. So yeah,
Yeah,
so so basically we're just going to be tattletaling on everybody.
Right.
sounds like it. Sounds
Right.
like it. Yep.
Are you a tattletale, Brad?
Oh no, I'm gonna leave and let
So
let
let's
be. As long as you're not threatening me, you're not affecting me or my family, and I'm gonna do my thing. You do your thing.
Brian,
Or if
would you
it
be a
you don't want
tattletale?
somebody. There's a
I
lot
don't
of bad actors out
I don't give a crap what you do. Okay.
I
And
do too. So
when I fly my stuff, I usually just go to those old abandoned factories and that up the rivers and stuff like that. I don't even go into basically residential type area stuff. I don't even do that. So, I don't fly like downtown Philadelphia or no shit up the William Penn statues or none of that stuff, skyscraper stuff. I'm
yeah,
not
so
doing
my
any.
point being is that law enforcement assistant program, the lead program you just put up, this is the first time I heard about it. So thank you for bringing that up, Barkley. Appreciate it. Talking about that program, I mean, who wants a tattletale inside? Do you want to be a Karen? You know,
Well, what's going to
well,
happen is
that's the
tattletales. It's
problem
going to
we're
be
going to have.
Karen.
That
Right.
Yep,
is the
yep.
Karens is going to, raise a holy crap and get us all in trouble, right?
Right. Well, so since the FAA is not going to have, all this manpower to enforce all of this nonsense,
Right.
I can tell you what they are going to do. Okay. What they are going to do is really sock it to you if you do something stupid. Where maybe 5 years ago, flying, over some airport and, next to some jet might have got you $1,000 fine and a weekend in the slammer. Now it's going to get you a $50,000 fine and 6 years in the slammer. Okay, that's going to
Yeah,
be
it makes,
the
That's
makes
what's
me
got
enforcement.
the
stamp.
teeth to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
got the
going to be
teeth.
the
Yeah,
enforcement part. Is anybody that does something stupid, and that's why they have this remote ID, so now they
And
can
that's why
track
Jim
a
doesn't
road.
even tell his wife where he flies.
Right. And so they can, they're gonna, with this remote ID, they're gonna know who owns these drones. And so if you do go do something stupid, they can come and get you.
yeah, I agree. I
You
think they're
just
going to make
mind you
examples
just
out of
mind
people.
your own
Yep.
business and do your own little flying. They're probably never gonna bother you. You'll probably never
Absolutely,
That's
hear
yeah.
right.
from
I mean,
Well, the FAA doesn't have people out looking for people to be breaking the rules anyway. They all right now they wait to hear
them. Right,
for something, and then they have to investigate everything that's called in.
right.
So this LEAP program gives another a third party, if you will, the ability to do that, and then they'll contact the FAA, which then in turn they have to
Right. And
investigate.
like say you make some video, like you see, now you still see, okay, these videos on YouTube. I don't do these kind of videos, but you see them every day. These people do these range as a this 5 miles, 6 miles with these Mavic 3 minis, Mavic 4 mini. They're going out 5, 6, 7 miles. Now you know that's out of line of sight, right? Okay, so you
Yeah,
can't possibly see a Mavic Mini 6 miles away. It's impossible. So if the FAA goes to investigate that and they find your video on YouTube, they come to your house and all you got to do is say, "Well, I had 5 spotters out there and they were." There's no way they can prove you didn't have that. See, that's why people can still make these videos and don't hear any flack because the FAA has no way to prove that you're not following the rules.
right.
Okay. You can say, oh, every half a mile I have a spotter on the side of the road and, just give your buddies' names if it ever even gets to that point. But they have to be able to prove that you're breaking the law. It's just not you're
That's
out there
right.
flying a drone, you're breaking the law. They have to prove that you're breaking the law. So,
Yeah,
they just can't
yeah,
chase
no,
a person down that does a range test. It's just not
right.
feasible. You know.
Well, Barkley had a good point there that some people don't realize is you had the spotter or your visual observer has to be right next to you. You can't have people stationed a mile ahead or 2 miles ahead. They've got to be where the remote pilot and command is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe that's a new rule, but that didn't used to be a rule because I remember seeing Ken Huron made a video and he had a spotter like 2 miles
He
down the
did.
road or something like that. I remember that video to this day.
I do. I remember that video as well. I just watched it a couple months ago again. Yeah.
so Hot Rod saying we could jog the 5 miles together, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I'll pass out.
Well, I've always wanted to land my drone somewhere else and then have somebody put a new battery in it, power it up, and see if it connected, and then fly it back. If not, they could just drive the drone back. Then we'll have to do that test one day. Well, we definitely got a lot of people talking about, how this thing
Oh yeah,
is going on, right? And all right, so
it's
let's
huge.
get
Well,
back
we'll
on
be talking.
topic.
It's going to be talked about a whole lot more in the upcoming months too, because remote ID is coming again.
Yeah.
It's said, they moved the date out to March something, if I remember right. Somebody can put it in the chat. But it's quiet right now. But now we're going to start moving back into that hot time again when RID is supposed to take effect, unless they push it
Well,
out
they're
again.
gonna believe me. They're gonna push it back again. Believe me. I don't know
Yeah, they're
one.
not
I
ready.
don't know one person that bought one of these modules. Not one.
Yeah.
Did you buy one?
No, I don't
Uh,
have anything I need to buy it for because I don't have
Okay.
FPV. But
What
what
about
was the
you,
question,
Al?
Brian? Sorry,
Did
I
you
was
buy
reading.
one of those modules?
I have
RID
not.
modules.
No, I
No.
have not. I mean, I have like four small little frames, and but I do have a 5 incher that I actually have two 5 inch and I just beat up all the time.
So what about just for your old drones that don't have the
Uh,
remote, you know?
I know, and I was just, just having that discussion with my buddy this weekend, right? Because we were flying. I was like, "Hey, man, you know, remote ID, we got to have modules." And he goes, "Are you going to spend $300 to put on that?" I go, "Probably not." And he goes, "I'm not."
I think
And
Holystone's selling one for like $65.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, as
you
long as
know,
it's in compliance, that's fine. And I've heard some of those modules are only reaching out to like you within 60 feet of your drone, which is better for the
wow.
pilot, of course.
Right.
But I don't know how that's going to pass with the FAA, specifications. I don't know what they
Okay. Well,
are and how they get those
Maddie puts
approved.
in the comment that he's got the Holystone module. He said it fits on his 5-inch. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I don't know. I'm not getting one. I think Al's microphone dropped out again. Did it?
no, I just put it muted it to save you
Oh, okay.
guys a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Now I know Skydio. Do you still have your Skydio?
Hey, Hot Rod has a good solution here.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oops,
that'll
it
work.
fell off.
I don't,
Yeah, right. It fell off. Yeah. Hey Al, do you still have your Skydio?
I do. As a matter of fact,
Well,
when I put that
they
little Christmas
updated
tree
it.
up behind me,
Well,
I, I
I have the original one. I don't have the updated one. Do you have the
yeah,
original?
I have the Skydio too,
Okay. Well, I have the original
but they're
one.
not the
It still works
second
good.
version, just the first version. I,
Okay. So they updated that for the remote ID. They did some kind of firmware update, and I didn't see any difference. I didn't see any difference in it.
I will probably not update that. Maybe I will. I don't know.
Well, I don't
Um,
think I had a choice.
oh,
It
I
was
haven't powered it
a
up this month.
mandatory. It was a mandatory type deal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So if
It
it
won't
hits
let
our
you take
network,
off.
we're gonna shove this in your down your throat. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's one of them deals.
Yeah. I gotcha. Oh well. Oh well. Let's see. Let's take this off there. What else? All right. So Brad, you think they're gonna go sub 250 on
I
the
think with
next
with something like an Nevada like drone at sub 250.
Avata, but sub 250? So they'll probably have to get
Hmm.
rid of the gimbal then. Maybe not. Maybe they go
Um,
micro gimbal. I don't know.
maybe, yeah, maybe not. I mean,
Because that requires another servo.
Yeah.
Not a. I mean, I think it's just not a servo. It's brushless motor. I think is what it is.
well, I think one thing they'll have to do too is they'll trim down the battery. So that means less flight time. You'll be instead of I don't know, I get 14 minutes, maybe 15 minutes out of my Avata batteries if I push it around the yard here, or less in some cases. But I believe it would be a under 10-minute drone with something they'd have to cut back on the battery and other items, of course. But I think you're probably looking at a battery that only lasts 8 or 10 minutes at that point.
Well, I don't think they're gonna put a gimbal on there. I mean, EIS is
Mm-mm.
so advanced now. EIS has
Right.
been
Agreed.
around. I mean, from like 2016. Even all these GoPros and they all have EIS and it works great. So I don't see the need for a gimbal actually.
Hey,
One thing I
Buster
would
makes a
hope
good
they would.
point here. I was just gonna
What's
say,
that?
guys, sorry. All right. So, what is a good module to buy? RFID module to buy. Everybody's talking about getting one. Is really good insurance. You should have one. That way, you don't have to pay the fine. Got it. Um, so, what kind should we buy? Anybody have any suggestions?
I've never even
I
looked
don't
at
have a
it.
clue. Me either. I don't have a
Yeah.
clue. You got a
So,
lot smarter people in the chat that are in the know about that, like Maddie and
Right.
probably Berkeley and some other folks.
Well, he does have the Holy Stone with Maddie because I saw him talking about it already.
Okay, so he's talking about this one made by Fitty Tests, Flight Tests. Sorry, Flight
That's
Tests. Okay. So
I'm just not gonna. I mean, I only got those few drones left there of the over 250s. I'm not gonna buy one of those just to fly my Inspire around. I'm just not gonna do it.
that's right. And you still have, don't you still have your Phantom 4?
I still have my Phantom 4
Yeah.
and the Mavic Pro, but the Mavic Pro they put something on there. They did something to that.
I got
Yeah.
the Mavic Pro. I haven't pulled it out of the bag lately.
Yeah, I just charged my batteries up last week. I do that battery.
Would they be
I do
would
that
they be able to
battery
put
every 3 months.
would they be able to put remote ID on the Mavic Pro?
From what I read from the DJI press release last year, they weren't putting it on there.
Okay.
Okay, they did update the firmware about a year and a half ago
Yeah.
to put the where the little airplane would go there if there was an airplane within X amount of miles or whatever. This little
Yeah.
airplane thing would pop up, but they said they weren't gonna do the RF, whatever the hell it's called. You were gonna have to buy a module for it if you wanted
Okay.
to.
Yeah.
If you wanted to be in compliance, I would if I wanted to be in compliance, I would have to buy this module to put it on my Inspire or my Phantom 4 or the Mavic Pro. Now I have a couple of toy quadcopters. They're technically toys, but that are over the 250, but I would never put nothing on those things. I mean, they only go like 300 feet, the range on them. So I wouldn't
Yeah, I mean,
just,
I'm not gonna endorse it, but I would say if people are flying and you know, being respectful of other people's property, being respectful of people in general, and not trying to get in trouble, you're not going to have to worry about this remote ID being
no,
put on some of those older drones.
$99 right there.
Yeah, there you go.
But that looks like something that would plug into some FPV setup. That doesn't look like something that would just glue to the top of your, Mavic Pro or something.
So they must have built it so you have the ability to stack it, right, to put it in there somewhere in the FPV components,
Right.
being able to put, but otherwise you're probably just going to put that in some little plastic case and attach it to like the Mavic Pro, for instance.
Right.
You wouldn't mount that on the drone necessarily with the screw holes of that board, but you would probably put it in something or seal it somehow. I don't see any type of cover for it, but I mean that would be easy to make a little 3D printed case for it.
I'm scratching my back because
You
I'm
got no
old.
audio, Al. I don't know if you're just looking, but
Yeah, I'm just looking. I didn't want to
it
get an
looked like there
audio.
was a case on that one he was showing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I see it.
and
But see that one still has to be powered.
yes, they
Yeah, you
all
gotta have
do. Yeah.
power.
I thought they had ones that were self-powered. You just like Velcroed them to the drone.
So this this channel here, Flight Test is unbelievable group, man. If you ever get a chance to see this channel, you should check it out, guys. They have these planes and potato guns and apple guns shooting at them and like a real war. I mean, it's a crazy fun show.
Hey, so Lee, look at Lee's comment in the chat, Al. He's exactly right. It's like having car insurance. You won't get in trouble uh, until you are in, an accident or
Right.
something. You've got to have the insurance. But
Right.
Yep.
that's exactly right. He's
So, so Lee, where do we buy them from? Where do you recommend to buy them from?
That's probably it's probably all over the place. TBD kind of. Where do you get your module? It just depends on what you're building on your FPV drone. I mean, again, we were talking earlier in the stream about them being $300 plus, but we just saw one that was 99, and we've heard of them being $69. So I think there's a wide gamut of modules and what they can do and how far they can probably push the signal out. I don't know
Yeah,
what the rules are on it or the regulations on the specs.
yeah, agreed. And I'll tell you what, this module here I can put the audio on it, but I don't think I will. You could just freaking register it with an app. So definitely, this guy's got it going on. Um, that is so nice. So that way, you just register your module, and then you can slap it on any one of the, um, any one of your quads. So you just move from quad to quad, kind of like you move your camera from quad to quad. So that's super nice, and they actually walk you right through it. Huh? How cool is that? So there we go.
So, so he's providing a service along with the product.
Yep. The product is developed with an app.
Right.
So you buy the whole thing. You just probably download the app, and and you could even use to find your plane. Huh? Very nice.
Hmm.
There's so definitely I'm gonna have to get me a couple of those. I gotta.
I'm glad I don't have to worry about this so far. I don't have a FPV drone or anything that needs that module because all the drones I have mostly have the built-in already DJI products, right?
Yeah, yeah. You're safe there, Brad. No, no problem there at
Yeah.
Oh,
all.
yeah,
I mean,
okay. Okay, so I got a question for you guys. You guys, these drone geniuses. Okay.
Okay. A loaded
Now,
question coming, Brad.
okay. So, because honestly, I haven't messed with any of this remote ID. I haven't done any of this shit, right? So here, answer me this. Now, so say you have the remote ID and all this crap hooked up to the drone, and do you still have to do that shit where you have to call the airport and tell them, oh, I'm getting ready to take off from ground zero, and all? You don't have to do that no more. That
I
length.
mean, you got to get LANC permission, depending on which app you use. There's apps for that.
You still have to do that crap when you want to fly your drone? Oh, screw that. I'll just fly the damn thing. Freaking
Yeah, I
car.
don't think that's going to change. Actually, I'm surprised that we haven't been beat to death over something like that.
I
Because I
agree with
never hear
you.
anybody talk about that. I never hear it. I have an app on my phone, but I watched I forget who had a video on doing it. It was either Ken or one of these other guys had a video how to step by step how to do go through it. It was real easy, but who wants to do that every time you want to start flying? It's a pain in the ass. Calling up some
Yeah,
calling up the
I,
military
I,
or some crap like
Brian,
that.
where I live at right here, I live in Verona, Virginia, and I'm right outside of Richmond. Richmond's right up the street, and the Richmond International Airport is exactly 4.95 miles epicenter of that airport to my house. So I have a strict 250-foot height
Ceiling.
here, ceiling, and point 0.5 miles. My in-laws next door, I can step right in the grass and I can go up to 400 feet. So I
Right.
typically do that, but I still have to get that length permission. So I use the app to do that, and it's really easy. I mean, within 30 seconds, I've got permission. So
Yep.
I kind of cover my bases with that.
So let's visit this conversation, how many modules you need. And obviously that depends if you're a recreational pilot or a commercial pilot.
True.
And you can see that you only need one module for each drone and only one module per non-compliant drone if you have your 107.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the no module option. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm just gonna buy a module and strap it in each time I plug a battery in. That's all I'm gonna do. Strap
Yeah.
it in with a battery, and that
Well,
way.
now, okay, so here's something else I heard too, and you guys can maybe answer this. You know these sub 250 drones, the minis, and okay, so I have piles of these things. Now, if you have a 107, you have to put a module on those. That I don't have to, but if you have a 107, you have to.
If you
Oh,
register
right.
that drone under your
If it's
107, so
registered.
what a lot of people
Yeah.
don't do is don't register those in your 107 profile.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you'll have a commercial and your what's the other one?
Recreational.
Recreational one, profile. So under the recreational profile, you're going to put all those in there.
Yeah.
And this is what Maddie was saying here. Where's Maddie's comment? Here we go. All his FPVs are in his recreational,
Yeah.
not commercial.
Yeah. Well, you guys got all these 107. I've got a 106. So that means I don't have to do any of that shit. Okay, none of that stuff I have to do.
Does it have a middle finger in that?
Yeah,
6?
right. That's the one part of the 106 right there.
That's the 106. Sit on this.
Yeah.
All right. Maddie's got a question on the Mini 4.
Okay, hold on.
I don't know the answer to that one.
I don't think you
I
can
think-
turn it off.
I don't think you can once you've registered it.
They're
I
not
don't
going
know.
to
I
give you
don't
a
think you
software
can.
switch.
No,
for
once
that.
they firmware update, you can't turn it off.
I don't think so.
No, because I've already looked into that.
Yeah.
Now, all these DJI minis, all the way from the 2 on up, have that in there. The original mini don't. That's not in the original, but from the 2 up, it's all in there.
That's why some people are still holding on to their original Mini.
I have 2 of those, 2 of the originals still.
So we all know you can't turn that off, Maddie.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to even hack that.
No, you could. You
Yeah.
definitely could.
See, I think tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
Al's going to get up tomorrow morning and look into getting one of those 106. He's going to look into that, I think.
But the Windows 6 and sit on this.
Yeah, right.
All right, we haven't even got to your e-bikes, man. We've been talking about all this stuff. It's nice to talk about. Hey, Chris is drones you've made.
Hey, Chris Wedgeworth, how you doing?
Yeah, Akirasha's joining
Hey,
us.
Chris, what's up?
All right, guys. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, Bob Casey. I forgot to mention Bob Casey.
Bob Casey, he's been there for 20 minutes at least.
I know. But now I'm just taking a break because I couldn't break into your chatter boxes.
Yeah, I know.
Trying to get the word in there is hard. So anyway, no, let's get back to your e-bikes. What's been going on with the e-bike stuff?
Well,
man?
actually, nothing's been going on with them. I sold all of them except for 3 of them.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I still have 3, but I sold them all when I moved. And so now I got the new models will start coming into the spring and I'll be back on that horse. But right now, it's Christmas is over, all that stuff's all done. All the models are already in the stores and I did what I got 16 bikes I did this year.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
got a good chunk of chain out of that thing.
A lot of money.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
500
lot
piece,
of money. A lot of
500
money.
piece right there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say.
And now
10 grand, 10
I just
grand.
got this scooter, this $1,500 scooter a couple weeks ago. Real nice.
If you haven't noticed, I put in the link to our conversation, to the live stream in the chat. So if you want to jump in, Hot Rod,
Yay.
I knew he was going to jump in. I just knew you were going to jump in.
Right.
Yeah, Brad didn't tell you, right?
How come you don't have an echo Oh, Hot
Yeah, I
Rod's
don't know
got it
why
all
we're not.
covered there. Hey, Hot Rod, you need to train Al how to get some audio going on here.
Well, I need to put an
Yeah,
earpiece
maybe.
on. That's what I need to do. And I was
Yeah,
looking
that's
for an
funny. We're not
earpiece.
hearing any echo out of Rod.
No, it's me.
Let's
So
see if
you
I
have
can
to
get
suffer
this to
through it.
show.
Oh, that's real nice.
Hey, so Brad, have you been downtown here in Richmond, Virginia? Taking a look at the skyline all lit up? Man, it is
Nope,
beautiful.
not yet. Oh yeah,
Hot Rod's
Raj.
showing off his.
So which one's 3D printed and which one is the factory?
The 3D printed the one on the right.
Yep, you're right. That's the one's Brad. See how thin the plastic is on the freaking factory one? It's no wonder they break out a whim.
It is so
Yeah,
true.
we got them print. I was doing show and tell in case you didn't make it on here, Rod.
Yeah.
Good night, Dennis. See you, buddy.
These are PETG carbon fiber. These things are amazingly strong. I mean, I'm bending
Yeah,
them,
I
like
know.
crushing them. And well, this one just cracked. That was the first time I cracked one, but I squeezed the crap out of it. But that was that was the first one, and that one didn't come out too well. But this one here was the ones that I sent you, Rod, are just like this one here.
Yeah.
All right, question to the panel. What TV show is Brian watching?
I have no.
That's
Is
an
it
interesting
Lifetime?
question. I don't watch TV, so
There's a cute older lady. Oh, she's at the doctor's. Oh, they're playing doctor.
I think I'm gonna go find a tree, Brad, and just fly into it.
Well, I did finally crack this one. So I
Yeah.
mean, I was squeezing it, but I mean, that was the first. I squeezed it almost in 50% the other day, and it didn't crack. But this time it cracked on screen.
I don't
But I
think I
mean,
can
this is
fly it fast enough to make it compress that much.
Okay, I'm
no,
going
I
to
know it.
corral
Yeah.
you guys again, and I'm going to
All
continue
right.
the e-bike conversation with Brian. Brian, so which three bikes did you keep?
I kept the Voyager Radius and the electric XP Lite and the
No off-road bikes.
Fido L3. Those are the three I kept.
Okay, so there's actually trail cruisers, right?
Yeah, right. Those are just regular old trail
Trail
cruisers. Nothing,
cruisers, gotcha.
nothing off road or nothing like that.
Okay.
All those I sold all of those.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
All I can say is there are a crap ton of e-bikes riding around Daytona.
This
Oh,
is
they're
the size
everywhere
of my
now.
battery,
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
It's like a 12S battery.
This is start your car battery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
So
haven't
did you ever get?
doing too much with the. I still have a lot of videos I haven't released yet, but I'm done for right now. It'll all pick back up in the spring, you know. They start getting the new models out.
Hey, Mark, is this
If you
any
get,
better?
if you get,
Hey, your
if
mic
you,
was
Brian, if
muffled.
you
It's something's wrong
you
with
get,
this whole setup. I just got to tear it down and get a new setup. I'm telling you, I'm so sick of it, and I
Yeah.
will do that. Let's see. Before I got that, I got sidetracked. I was going to say something about bikes. Oh, yeah, I ran into this channel. I was watching some e-bike reviews, and it was this one gentleman that had a paraplegic girlfriend, and he ended up making a four-wheel drive bike and just used standard bike motors, and he made it work. And now it's gone into production, and it's only like 15 to 1800 bucks. And you sit in this thing, you drive it like a tank, and so it gives those people that are paraplegics accessibility to all those areas that we have, to all
Right.
those trails and getting down to the beach or getting down to the water, all those things without having somebody push you, right? And some of those trails that he could handle were amazing how that independent wheel suspension worked because of the fact that you have four motors just like you do in a quad,
Right.
you know? And so you just now have a really mean, I wouldn't say wheelchair, but terrain. I mean, not even a go kart because it just in the cost of its own, well, how it could do it. So,
I'm
Do
sure
you
that was.
remember the Orange County Choppers, who did that one
Yep.
for the
Oh yeah.
paraplegic, and they made it so he could roll his wheelchair up on it, and they locked him in, and then he could drive around.
yes, yes, yes. There was there's a TV show on Amazon Prime, and let me look it up before I misspeak. But you guys go ahead. I'll look this up and put myself on mute. Brad, what are your plans for this week?
So working for the next couple of days, and then working from home till I get through whatever this head cold thing is I have, and then got the weekend for Christmas. Just gotta get ready for that. Not going anywhere, staying home and doing kind of a meal with the family next door, and just hanging around here. And then back to work again next week.
Darn.
Yeah.
I'm off next week. I'm working this week, but off next week.
Hot Rod,
Well,
this
I'm
seems
only
like
doing
you've been
3 days
flying.
this week. I'm doing two next week.
And I'm gonna
Me
go
too.
visit Maddie on Saturday. He's gonna do a little
Oh,
work for
okay.
me. He's gonna do a little work
Oh,
for
you can get
me.
some lights. You can get some lights
Yeah,
on
he's
your
gonna
drone.
put the LEDs on my Nazgul and probably on my Baby Hawk as well. So
I tell
I'm
you
gonna,
what, the one that Joe did, Joe Leo, his looks awesome.
oh, on that Avata, yeah, it looks great. So I'm gonna do
Mm.
purple lights on my Nazgul and going to do orange on the Baby Hawk, which kind of matches the reddish orange Baby Hawk props. But then when
That'd be
Maddie's
cool.
chasing me, you'll be able to see my drone a little better when he's chasing me. And I'm sure after we get done putting the lights on, the first thing we do is go over to the park, and Maddie's gonna chase me around.
That'll be fun. Where are you getting your lights from?
Fly high, Dave.
Oh, yeah, same person that
Yeah,
Joe
yeah,
got
yeah.
his from, right?
Yep, yep. He's the only one who
I
makes them, I
almost
think.
bought some. I almost bought them when we were at Minefield. He was selling them there, and I kept going over there talking to him and got sidetracked, and then before I knew it, it was all over with, and he was gone. I can still order it.
Oh yeah, they're inexpensive.
Yeah, I think it was what $25 for the set or 20 or something. I can't remember.
Something like that for 1 meter,
Yeah.
which
Cool,
is way more
man.
than enough to do a singular drone.
All right, I found what I was
All
looking
right.
for, but that doesn't show a good picture of it. Oh well. The name of the TV show is called Peripheral, and it's on Amazon Prime Originals. And you'll see what you were talking about, Hot Rod, where you have a module where this guy sits in, and it basically, it detaches from his motorcycle, and that's his
Mm-hmm.
wheelchair he drives into the bar, as an example. And he can raise it up and down, and then when he's done, it just goes up and couples with the motorcycle, and then he rides it on home. And
Yeah, it's great. It's great
yeah,
for those
but
folks.
I don't. They don't show a picture of it. They show him working under it, but that's it. They don't show that whole thing. Um, so I don't know.
I know we're up at the 8 o'clock hour, Al, and
Oh,
it's been a
already?
quick hour.
Oh my
Yep,
goodness.
and the
I'm
Grumpy
gonna have to.
Blogger's already started his stream.
Okay, so we better drop, guys.
So,
Hot Rod, thanks for joining. Brian, man, always good to have you, brother. Brad,
Thanks, Al.
Brad, it's always
yeah,
good to have you here co-hosting
yeah,
with
it's a good
me.
show.
And just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining. And next Monday we'll be back. Hopefully Robbie will be back in Thailand and set up. So we'll have a conversation with him and see what's going on over in Thailand and that side of the world. and we can do some price comparison with some of the things. Like, how much is the blender here? How much is the blender there?
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe he could tell us what the new DJI FPV drone is, because I'm sure some people in Thailand probably have it already.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt
The-
it. So, yeah. All right, guys.
That's
Well,
true.
good night. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
All right.
We'll see
Have
you
a good
next
holidays,
time.
guys.
Yep, yep.
Bye bye, guys.
All right.
Thanks.